My research really focuses on the kind of unconscious processes that scaffold our reality. So if you think about life as a kind of play that you're going through, the play has a certain setting, a set that's been built. The lights are focusing on certain things. The actors around you are playing out a certain story. And we react to that situation. And what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to understand is what is the team that's building that setting, that's directing those actors, that's directing the lights to focus on certain things, to tell the story in a certain way? What's going on behind the scenes unconsciously that's creating this story which we're responding to? And what I've found is that there are processes of attention and memory, attention being the things that we are focus is directed at, and memory is kind of the story that's being replayed. And these things change over time, especially in as the example of people who are grieving a loss by suicide. The story really changes. Sometimes it's the content of the story that changes. For example, somebody very early in their grief might be really focused on the death itself and maybe really focused on things like blame. And so the content might change, where the story begins to include more than just the death and blame, but it may also include life and a wider perspective on why the person did what they did. And these things change over time for a person. And so that's what I'm trying to understand is, why do these things change? How do they change? But I think that the thing that I've found that's probably the most important right now is just understanding that a lot of what happens for people when they're struggling with something painful, like a suicide loss, a lot of that work is done unconsciously. And so it kind of gives people permission to let go a little. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all worked out. Your brain is working on this unconsciously, and the story will change. And you don't have to figure out how to change the story all the time. Your brain is working on it in the background, processing, evolving the story, making it more complex, making it more wide-lensed, and it's not all on you. And so I find that this gives people permission to let go and not have so much pressure on themselves to figure out how to get through these extremely difficult situations.